This is the Gary Cantrell Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Back here today with a solo pod. That's right, a solo pod. I think it's been a couple of weeks since I've done one of these, actually. Pretty sure. Let me pot up the mic a little bit. There we go. Today on the podcast, what you probably saw, based on the title, what I want to talk about. Today, I want to talk about weight gain. That's right, I said it. Weight gain. Now, this is a topic that I have not really touched with a whole lot of detail, and not because I'm running from it or anything. It's more just, I haven't really come up in a spot yet where I've been able to just talk about it and just, get it all out. And I got a couple of messages. Some people had kind of heard me mentioning in other podcasts, whether it be this one or they heard me in other ones mention about a little bit of weight gain. And they were like, yo, what's the story on that? So I figured, today we'll, give you guys a bonus podcast and we'll talk about the damn thing. So let's get into it. Since I lost, I actually probably should go way back to the beginning. Before I even got started, I was north of 400. People that have been following me long enough, like more than 2 years, know that on my profile, I used to have the weights and all that stuff, the starting weight, the current weight, the goal weight, all that stuff people typically do when they start one of these fitness accounts. And you probably saw a weight of 372. Well, 372 was the weight that I weighed myself the day I got started. This was me jumping on the scale at work. It's where we put our pallets on for a pallet wrap, and it's got a scale on it. And 372, fully clothed, that was the number. Okay. I know for a fact that I was north of 400. I had actually seen my weight on a scale, and I want to say it was like 411, 412, somewhere in there. Could have even been 415. I don't know. It was north of 410, though. That much I know for a fact. Now, before I got started with the actual quote unquote journey on January 3rd, 2017, I slowly weaned off of things like soda. I was drinking, nothing but water. I was starting to dial back the fast food, not 100%, but I was starting to slowly dial it back. And somewhere in there, I lost some weight. The 412, 413, whatever that number was, that was like months before. Like this was, I want to say, probably could have been the summer. It could have been the spring of 2016. I really honestly don't remember. But at some point I had started dropping some weight. And this was without, like a formal plan. Like this was just like, I'm going to drink more water and I'm going to move around some more, but I wasn't exercising. And so by the time I finally got on the scale, I was 372. So if you do the math, that's about, goddamn, like 40 pounds, right? Am I doing that math right? So somewhere in there, I was starting to lose weight, but I didn't quite realize it. And it was never the goal. Clearly in 2016, it was definitely not a goal or a priority for me, but it kind of happened. And so when I get on the scale, 372 was the number on that date that I saw. And so that's the number that I went by forever. That was the number. That was the number I saw. And for the next 11 months, I was going hard, like really hard. Like I was doing like 7 days a week hard, which I wouldn't recommend for anybody, because in this weight loss world, everybody's in a fucking hurry. That's the truth. There's people now that, they follow accounts that are showing them that they don't need to be in a hurry. they're starting to learn it, but there's a lot of people that are just getting into this, or even people that have been at this for a while that are on the same up and down roller coaster that want this shit in a hurry. They want it now. And so they'll try everything in the world to get it now. And for me, I went inside of 11 months, I lost exactly 100 pounds. Exactly 100 pounds. And can you guess what happened next? I'll wait. Yeah. I gained some weight back. Now, this is February of 2018, and your boy Gary here is on a fucking victory lap, patting myself on the back. Hey, I lost 100 pounds. I'm awesome. I lost 100 pounds. Yippee-yo. I'm the man. You know what I mean? And I still went to the gym. Like, that never stopped. I still go. That never stopped. But the food was lacking. You have, let's see, August, I had 2 deaths 1 day apart from each other in the family. 1 day apart. I had another one earlier in 2018, April. These are not excuses, by the way. I'm just explaining my mindset. I'm not saying this makes it right or this excuses any of this. All I'm saying is this is what happened in my life over the course of this time. Towards the end of the summer, after these deaths happened, I got into a slump, a depressive slump. I might have skipped the gym 2 or 3 days within a month, but the eating just wasn't right. Just wasn't right. And for the next year, going into 2019, I had gained back roughly 10 to 15 pounds. And believe it or not, I wasn't really upset about this. I wasn't. I figured it's normal for someone to put back on some of the weight, right? I mean, it's got to be normal, right? 2019, March of 2019, I stopped tracking. And by the way, between February of 2018 and March of 2019, I was bullshitting that MyFitnessPal every fucking day. I just wanted the streak. I was literally putting in the same fucking food every day that I was not eating, by the way. Wasn't eating. It wasn't until October of 2019 that I finally decided to start tracking again. Now, all the while, I wasn't upset about any of this. Truthfully, I was not like obsessed. I'm not even upset right now. And October, by the way, was the first time I had stepped on a scale in months. I would peek at it every now and then, and that's how I kind of knew where I was at. And you'd see it go up a little bit, just a little bit here, a little bit there. By the time we arrived in October of 2019, your boy here was about 300, and it would teeter between like 301, 302, then like 298, 299. The highest I saw it go was 307. That was the highest. And mind you, I'm still working out all this time. There was a period in early 2019 where I was doing strictly yoga. And I saw some decent results there, but I probably wasn't going as hard as I should have on that, because with that, your heart rate, it takes a little bit more to get your heart rate up. You really have to put all of your oomph into it. I'm still trying to figure that out to this day, because I still do it, usually on the weekends is when I do it. And so, I mean, yeah, I got north of 300. And I'm not upset about it. I'm really not. Like, I'm just happy that I didn't stop, being active at the very least. If nothing else, I still would show up to the gym. In the summer, I started going back like regularly. And then by the fall, I made like the big change to start going in the mornings, which has been a game changer for me, by the way. My schedule is a lot more, structured, whereas before it wasn't. I'd get to the gym in the afternoon and fall asleep in the parking lot half the time because I was just exhausted. So moving it to the mornings was a big difference for me, a big difference. And it wasn't until about a couple of weeks ago that I decided that I was going to try to get some semblance of control over the food, which, by the way, never got like dangerous, I would say. No, I never made it back to McDonald's. That I can tell you. That's the honest to God truth. I never made it back there. You'd have a couple of days here and there where, some of the binging would be happening. That was usually centered around like special events. Like I know the holidays, I went a little ham on some of those things, which is fine. I think even if I had it under control, I don't think one day is really going to screw you up. Again, this all goes back to the mindset. So if you're already screwed up, you're already screwed up. And I may still have bad tendencies at times, but this is far better than it was like 4 years ago. Trust me on that. Far better. So much better than it used to be. My God, you wouldn't believe how much better it is now than it was then. And that's me trying to find the little bit of victory in all of this. That's how I stay positive. That's how I keep going. That's why I haven't given up yet. But I made a change where I was like, we're going to get into this structure. We're going to eat the same thing every day. I got my Raisin Bran with 1 banana every morning during the week. During a lunch, it's a salad. Unless work caters in food, I will eat the food at work. And it's not all terrible food. They do have 1 pizza day. And which, by the way, you guys will be really proud of me. When we had that pizza day, Gary here, who used to down 4 slices and sometimes 5, had 2. And I was content with that. I felt good about that. I was excited for that. You got to find the little victories. I'm kind of inspired to talk to you guys about all this because I made a post on Tuesday about it and talking about kind of the weight gain and the stuff behind that. Because it does happen. Some people don't want to admit it. I admitted it a couple of times on the podcast, but I never went into detail on it. Just never came up. That's why I'm here today, to talk to you about it. And so, I'm eating a salad every single day now. I just got to get my weekends under control. That's the one thing where I fuck up a little bit. I'll be the first to tell you. It's usually at the movies, actually. That's where the problem lies. I get into this movie and I've usually got my small popcorn and I'll eat that whole fucking bag. I mean, it's I looked it up on MyFitnessPal. It's like 300 some odd calories. It's not technically the worst. The thing is, on the weekends, I actually don't have 3 structured meals like I do during the week. I usually have less. I'm usually probably at 2. The problem is with those 2 gets to be kind of crazy. So I got to figure that out. I will figure that out. I may just buy my ass a big ass salad for the weekend as well. But maybe I'll get a slightly different salad to change it up a little bit. I don't know. Haven't figured it out yet. I'm actually trying to keep this under 15 minutes, but I don't think it's going to happen. So bear with me. This is real life right here. You're listening to a guy who lost a lot of weight and gained about 30 pounds of it back. That's the reality. The starting weight 372, now hovering around 300. and it's gone as high as 307. That's the honest to God's truth. And I'm okay with that. I'm only okay with it because I can see that there's a change. And so this is why building habits is incredibly important. I can speak to this now with 3 years of experience into this. This is why habits are extremely important, because over time you got to change those habits so that way you set yourself up for the future. Everybody wants a quick fix. Everybody wants it now. And you get to that finish line, or what you perceive as the finish line, because you put a number around it like I did. And all of a sudden you're on a victory lap, patting yourself on the back. And the real problems bubble up back up to the top. You had them kind of pushed down a little bit. You were working hard. You were busting your ass. You were sweating it off at the gym, pushing down those problems because they weren't on your mind because you were so focused. You hit that victory lap, you hit cloud 9, and they just bubbled right back up like a turd in the pool, a turd in the community pool. That's a hell of a reference, isn't it? So if you're dealing with some of that stuff, you better fix it. I'm talking to myself too, by the way. I need to fix some shit. I'm working on it. I look at photos and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm going to be that guy that I was 4 years ago. That guy he was a nice guy. He'll drink with you. He'll watch wrestling and MMA with you. He'll talk your ear off, which is a problem for a lot of people, apparently. He'll talk your ear off. He just had his health issues that he needed to deal with. But I ain't going back in that direction. Oh, no. We're not going back there. There's no way. I can still wear the same pants that I wore 2 years ago. That's the good news. Those 2X shirts, we're getting, let's bring out Macho Man. We're getting a little snug, yeah. But there are some that still fit pretty decently. Just a little bit. It depends on who makes it. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I ain't gonna lie. It was the one thing I did get a little bummed with was there was the one time where there was a certain shirt that I wanted in a 2X and it didn't fit right and I had to go to the 3 and I was just like, I don't know about this. I wasn't happy about it. And can I just say, I feel incredibly better for sharing this. I got to do this more often. I don't know why I don't do this more often. Guess there's just not enough time in the day sometimes. But I needed to get this off my chest. And so if you're here this far into this, man, you're with me, right? You're here with me. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. But after all that, I'm here to tell you right now, don't worry about me. In the sense of I'm not upset about it. I am self-aware. I am actually more self-aware now than I've ever been on many things. Very self-aware. So I don't know. Ultimately, what is the point of this podcast? What have we learned today? I went in with all the expectations of losing a bunch of weight, and I lost a lot of weight, but I also gained back some weight. And like I said, I'm not like super busted up about it. I realize what I got to do. And I'll come around in time, like I'll figure this out and I'm going to make it work. I guess, just trying to find that life balance 100%. And just try to be happy You know, that's super important to me, is just being happy. And honestly, right now, I am. Even when I realized that I had gained some weight back, I was still happy. I see people every day on Instagram getting discouraged. Oh, I've gained all this weight. All 5 pounds I gained. Oh, my God. You're going to be all right. That's the point of this. I'm not trying to mock you. I'm just trying to tell you, you will be okay. These numbers, they don't mean shit. I mean, they really don't. In the grand scheme of things, it all comes back to the mental health. And yes, of course, you want to be healthy. Obviously, yes, you want to be healthy. But there's like X, Y, and Z that you got to figure out before that even comes along. I'm still decoding here, 3 years in, trying to decode, decrypt, whatever you want to, fancy, stupid thing you want to say. Trying to crack the code. There we go. There's one. Just comes in time. So that's pretty much all I wanted to share. So the TLDR, the too long didn't read version, was I was really big. I lost a lot of weight, 100 pounds to be exact. And I gained back about 30 of it. And here we are. I'm good with it. I got a lot of other shit to fix, you know? This being one thing. So we're going to figure all this out. This is the process. This is the journey. If you guys want to hear more of this, happy to share it. I ain't running from shit. I'll tell you guys how it is. That's how it is. That's exactly what's happened. Should probably get out of here now. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to drop this thing in Adobe Audition, sweeten it up a little bit, and put it up. And that's going to be about it. I really don't have anything else to say. Like, if you're honestly listening this far, most people are not listening this far. You're not. Don't lie to me. You're not listening this far. Okay, goodbye. I'm out of here. See you on the next one.